All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to another episode of Walk to 100. I think this is number 16, right? I think, yeah, 16. That's pretty solid. But anyway, guys, we're down a little bit in the portfolio today. Nothing too crazy. It's kind of another break-even day. I feel like this week has more or less been pretty tame. But we'll take a look at the portfolio in just a moment. I did make another purchase yesterday after the stream, so I'll show you guys that as well. And I also want to show you a new platform that I started using. I'm very excited about it. I put out a new email newsletter this morning. If you got it delivered to your inbox, great. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't and you want to check out this week's newsletter, there's a link to it in the description. But anyway, guys, before we get into anything today, what's the count? We gotta guess the count. So let me know here in the live chat. Let me know in the comments below if you're watching the replay, how many calories you think we've burned so far this morning. I've been walking for a while now. I've been walking. And if you guys know, well, actually, rather, this is your first time tuning into Walk to 100. The rule here is I cannot stop streaming. I cannot stop walking until I hit 100 calories. This is my morning routine, and I'm moving and grooving this morning. So I've done pretty well. But anyway, guys, I'll give you some quick stats. Okay, so I've been walking for exactly 48 minutes. Okay, and you guys can see me, hear me okay, by the way? I think I'm getting some weird. I'm not seeing anything in the live chat. Let me go over to YouTube real quick just to confirm we're all good to go. All right, it looks like I'm live. It's just not showing anything here on StreamYard. The chat's not coming in. Okay. Interesting. So, okay, we're going to work with it. So I don't know if I'll be able to put your guys' chats on the screen this morning. But hey, we're going to rock with it. Sorry for the trouble. But anyway, guys, I'll give you some quick stats here as far as the treadmill this morning. So I've been going now for 49 minutes, okay? 49 minutes. I've gone 1.95 miles. Like I said, I'm moving and grooving today. I've gone just under, like, a few steps short of 5,000 already. Okay, so with that in mind, what's the count? How many calories do you think we've burned so far? I'm going to go scroll up here in the chat and see who guessed it first. And once again, guys, I don't know what's going on here over on my streaming platform. So sorry for the delay. We're just going to have to work with it, or the trouble rather. So I see MPB here in the chat says 83 calories. I see Fast Eddie says 86. Leonardo says 87 and a third. Mike says 4. Max 88. JD 77. Tara 76. Okay, I see Keeks with 94. Mike says, Ryan, you are treadmilling like a little schoolgirl, whatever that means. Let's see. Luis says 93. Thomas 91. Suzuki Man 10. Suzuki Man, come on. CA is 86. Timo 105. Joyce says 91. JD says 10. My ma. Ma says you must be around at least 92. So, guys, I'm at 100 calories this morning. Even we started the stream basically and hit the mark. Like I said, I started a little bit early on the treadmill this morning, so I had a little bit of extra time, and we already reached the mark. So that's really cool. Let's see who the winner is here. I see Keeks with 91. I saw someone with 102. Where was that? So 94. Maybe no. I think Keeks, Keely, you were the winner with 94. I thought I saw 100. Someone guessed 100 something, but maybe I'm misreading that. But anyway, guys, let's jump over to the screen real quick. I'll show you what's happening in the portfolio. I'll show you this quick WP carry buy, and then we'll call it a day. So hopefully, there we go. Okay, there's just a little bit of delay on the screen. So where are we? We're gonna go here. Okay, so over here on the portfolio tracking spreadsheet, which you can start using for free, there's a link to download this in the description. Right now, we're sitting at $57,000 for the day, just a little bit above it. So I'm down $70 compared to yesterday, nothing too crazy. And over here on the positions page where I track all my different holdings, let's zoom in a little bit so it's a bit bigger here for you. So here's WP carry. I picked up 3 shares yesterday, so I went from 33.1 to 36.1. which brought my average cost down from about $66.40, somewhere in that range, to now 65.94. So, a little bit lower, nothing too bad. I'm still down a little bit on WP carry, but really now nothing too crazy, 5.76%. If you guys remember, just last week, couple weeks ago, it was like, I was down double digits for sure. So we've seen quite the turnaround from WP carry as well as realty income here. So I'm almost like I'm getting pretty close in total unrealized loss with these two positions. But anyway, that's what happened with that purchase. Let's go over, take a look at my best and worst performers for the day. And then I'll show you some other good and bad performers just around the world of dividend investing. So Chevron's up 1.3%, AT&T up 1%. Like I said, overall, it's a very mild day, guys. Not too much in the red either. Lowe's is down 1%. Coca-Cola is down 0.9%. But otherwise, a very tame day on the market. But with that said, there's a few companies out there that have made some pretty substantial jumps. So let's jump over here to this company right here, AmeriSafe, AMSF, which is one that I've never really looked into before. But look at this drop today, guys. They're down 7.3%. A crazy loss today. So they're down a lot. So far, I haven't been able to find any news as to why that's happened. At least none has been posted yet here on Seeking Alpha. So maybe we'll stay tuned and kind of see if any pops up. But 7% drop just out of nowhere. I just can't help but feel like there's got to be some sort of news behind it. But anyway, time will tell with that one. And looking at this company's performance overall, in the last month, they're still up 1.5%. Year to date, they're down 1.4%. So overall, today puts them into the red for the year. This next company seeing a pretty big loss is Boise Cascade Company, BCC, which I looked into this one a little bit a while ago, and they actually had some pretty solid financials. I think you guys would find this one interesting if you took a look at it, but they're down 5% today. And there's really no news as of this morning, but the 28th, they did announce plans to close one of their plants in Alabama, move distribution location to Modesto. So a little bit of news this month, but nothing super immediate that would have pushed this down 5%. And then looking at their performance in the last month, they're still up. Holy cow, they're still up 19%. Really crazy gain. And then year to date, Boise Cascade is up a whopping 76%. A boring lumber company, just with a near 80% gain this year. Gotta love it, guys. So those are the worst performers for the day. Couple solid performers, but really nothing too crazy. I mean, actually, since I last looked at it, this one's jumped quite a bit. PKG, Packaging Corporation of America. Another very boring company. They make things. Oh, there we go. The live chat's now populated. It just, it was lagging. Okay. The software is caught up. That's really good. Whew, okay. That makes me feel better. But anyway, back to PKG. I can now see your guys' chats here, so that's good. Back to PKG, another very, very boring company. What these guys do, let me just pull up their website. They make like cardboard containers and different packaging for things that are shipped. So if we go over to their website, Packaging Solutions, you'll recognize a lot of this stuff as we go through. So let's go by industry. And it's stuff you never even think about, food and beverage packaging, produce. You go to Costco and, you're carrying all your groceries out. They give you these boxes right here to put all your groceries in. This is the stuff they ship fruit in. E-commerce, they make packaging for that. But like I said, stuff we don't even think about, stuff that is, in a lot of use and has a lot of different use cases in a lot of different industries. So PKG is a pretty solid company to look into. I think they've had a pretty decent run this year too. Like year to date, they're up 30%. So pretty solid run. They're right there at their 52-week high, but nonetheless, I think this is one to kind of keep on your radar, keep in the back of your mind. So maybe someday we'll get better prices, but yeah, this is pretty nice. Just a few months ago, back in July, there were 132. So they've really seen a nice climb just in the last like 4 or 5 months. But anyway, this other big gainer today, which really isn't too crazy at all, is ABR, Arbor Realty Trust, who's actually seen quite the decline this year. It looks like, at least in these last few months. Since the end of July, they've gone from $17 per share down to now, just above $12 per share. In the last month, they're down 1.5%. Year to date in total, they're down 10%. So, but then, there's been no real crazy news as of this month, it looks like, to bring this down. But I do think it was ABR. So there's a company out there called Vicroy. Maybe they're an investment firm. I don't know exactly what they are or what they do, but they put out a short report on ABR. I think I'm getting this right. They put out a short report on ABR saying there was just a you know, a lot of bad stuff under the hood. And I think in this last month, that's really sent the share price down. And so that would have been announced like right here, November 15th, taking it from 1384 down to, you know, 12, basically where it's at now. So, and I'm surprised that news hasn't popped up here on Seeking Alpha, but that is something that's happened that has pushed the share price down at least this last month. So I'm not exactly sure why it's up today, but you know, every day is a mystery, guys. Every day is a mystery. But that's pretty much what's going on in my portfolio around the world of dividend investing. I want to hear from you guys real quick. Let me know in the live chat here or in the comments below. What's happening in your portfolio today? Are you up? Are you down? Did you buy anything? You get any dividends? What's going on with you guys? I want to hear all about it here in the live chat. I'm going to go through, take a look at these comments here. So let's see. Oh, Tara says, I work at Amerisafe. We're a small workers' comp company out of Louisiana. Very cool. That's good to know. Let's see. James says, hey, man, glad I caught a live stream. What's your take on having lots of holdings? I've got 61 total, primarily for multiple payouts every month. James, didn't we talk about your portfolio before? Maybe not. Someone else recently left a comment in a live stream. It was on the Dividend Happy Hour, I think, saying they had 61 holdings. They had like 50, I think 49 individual stocks and 12 ETFs. Maybe that must have been someone else. Maybe I could have, man, I'm sorry. I could have sworn I've seen this before. And then I wrote about it in the newsletter, actually. I wrote about it. Yeah, it was you, James. So in the Dividend Happy Hour, you said, I have a very diversified small portfolio consisting of 61 holdings. So I actually answered this in the newsletter that went out this morning. This is very coincidental. So I'm going to show you my response right here. Okay, so this is from the email newsletter. Once again, there's a link to read the whole thing in the description. Here's your original comment from, must have been last week, last Friday night. And my response to the question overall, the same one you asked today, is truth be told, without knowing the specific details of your holdings and without knowing more about your individual situation, it's hard for me to give an actual opinion. However, from a general standpoint, I think having 61 holdings in a small portfolio does sound pretty diversified, possibly too diversified, actually. For a small portfolio, owning 49 stocks and 12 ETFs sounds like overkill to me. Consider the time and effort required to stay informed about each holding. That's definitely no small task. I think a more focused approach with 1 or 2 ETFs, which is more than plenty, and a select number of individual stocks, like in the portfolio that I'm showing you in this video here, if you click on it, it could make it easier to manage while still providing ample diversification. So that's my overall take. You know, 61 holdings is a lot. Even let's subtract those 49 individual stocks you have and just look at the ETFs. 12 ETFs is also quite a lot. And I can't help but think there's got to be some serious overlap, or at least a fair amount of redundancy amongst those different ETFs. So at the very least, I would say that there's room to consolidate in your portfolio. You know, it's not gonna kill you by having 61 holdings by any means. You do what you think is best, but it's just a lot. And I think you would feel a bit less cluttered. I think you would feel more streamlined if you looked at your holdings and tried as best as you could to narrow it down to the highest conviction holdings, the ones that you understand the best, and the ones that you think have the brightest future. And I would imagine that's not, you know, that's a number that you'll end up with a number far less than 61 there. So hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully that wasn't too harsh of a response. At the end of the day, you know, do whatever you think is right. There's really no right or wrong way to do it, but I think you'd feel better with a more consolidated portfolio personally. And I'm speaking from experience with that as well, by the way. Let's see. Chattin, I hope I pronounced that right. Let me know if I mispronounced that. Says, hello from Germany. Wish me luck for job interviews. Good luck, my friend. You're going to crush it. You are going to crush it. So let's see. Okay. Let's keep going. Here we go. So regarding Viceroy earlier, they published short reports recently, did one for Block and Carl Icahn's company, IEP, which is the ticker symbol for that. So, oh, James says, maybe I missed your response. Sorry. Oh, no problem at all. No need to apologize. Just super funny coincidence that I wrote about it in the newsletter. I thought it was a really good question. And thank you for asking. I appreciate it. So be still. Thanks for having these morning live streams this November. I've really enjoyed it and found it both entertaining and informative. Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys tuning in with me this month. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow's going to be our last day of the full week, doing these walk to 100s, Monday through Friday. So tomorrow's the last day of that. Starting next week, we're just going to go down to once a month. So we'll have tomorrow, we'll have Monday, the 4th. No, yeah, Monday the 4th. And then from that point on, it'll just be every Monday. So Monday the 4th, then the following Monday, the 11th, so on and so forth, if that makes sense. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in with me, hanging out with me this last month, watching me walk here. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Let's see. This is a good question. So Sheldon here says, just starting out here at 29 years old. Good for you. Good job getting started, man. Just wanted to ask if I should try to get 1 unit or 1 share each of some ETFs and stocks first off, or should I focus on building up a snowball? If so, which 3 to pick? So let me figure out the best way to answer this question. So sorry, I'm just seeing the comment below. Why are you bouncing? Oh, you're on your treadmill. My bad. Anyway, back to the question. I think there's going to be more than one way to do it for sure. But I think if this is just my general consensus for someone who's just starting out with investing. I really think the best way to start getting some skin in the game and the best way to start building up a snowball and get comfortable with investing and become familiar with it is to just start by investing in an ETF or 2 ETFs. I really think that's probably all you need. If you have just an itch that you can't scratch to buy some individual stocks, and you've got to do it. You've just got to do it. Some people do. I was one of them. Maybe just do 1 ETF, 2 ETFs. VU, the Vanguard 500 S&P 500 ETF, or SCHD, or I think that's a really good combination. And then just pick a couple individual stocks on top of that. I think at most that's the best way to go. 1 ETF, 2 ETFs, 1 to 3 individual stocks, and then just kind of go from there. You'll come into your own from there. But I think that's a really good starting point for most people. At least 1 ETF, 2 ETFs, and then some individual stocks. And you can go the complete other route and just buy 30, 40, 50 individual stocks, but you can do that, but I don't know if that's going to be the best way to go for someone who's just starting out. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so you can pronounce it like Chattin. Did I get that right? So Chattin. Hopefully I got that right. Yeah, so I'm glad Max asked this because I wanted to bring it back up. So what new platform are you using? Stock Unlock is pretty good for the price. I've heard good things about Stock Unlock. So this new platform I'm using, it's not really so much a stock research tool. It's a pretty straight up portfolio tracker. Now, if we go over to the screen, I mean, you guys know I've got my portfolio tracking spreadsheet that I show and use, and certainly has been a labor of love for the last couple of years for me. But I just recently found out about this platform over here. It's one that I'd never heard of before. It's called GetQuinn, GetQuinn. I just call it GQ for short. And like I said, it's just a straight up portfolio tracker. It's got a lot of great features that you need. Obviously, you can, track your portfolio performance. One of the cool things is you can add a benchmark. So if I wanted to compare my performance against SCHD or VU or some other stock or ETF or even full on index, I can do that here. I can look at the diversification by my positions, by the different regions. You can see I'm pretty much US based here, and there's Europe developed. I don't even know what these are going to be. Sectors, it'll break it down by sectors. different asset classes. So let's say, for example, I wanted to, let me show you. I wanted to add, I can add my brokerage account. I can add a crypto exchange if I want to, which you guys know I'm not into that, but I know some of you are. You can add some sort of wallet, or you can add alternative assets like cash, real estate, if you have any homes, NFTs, commodities. Say you got some gold or some silver or something like that. Maybe you have a life insurance policy, cars, jewelry, all this stuff you can track in here. So you can even basically use it as a net worth tracker as well and track the movement. But also it'll show the performance of each individual position, obviously, and it'll show some really solid dividend stats. I think this is primarily built for dividend investors, since this is like, pretty much front and center on the portfolio dashboard, and everything happens pretty much within this one dashboard. It's very clean and easy to use. But long story short, tons of great features. You guys can check it out yourself, but it'll even pull your transactions, pull your dividend income. Pretty much everything that's going on in your portfolio automatically populates in here, and then it gets updated. So, and then how it should work, mine doesn't quite work this way yet, but how it should work is all upon, how do I explain this? Upon importing your portfolio, and it'll automatically sync to your portfolio, it should pull all of your dividend payments as well. So in theory, I should be able to see my dividend payments populated here for the full year. And the thing about that, and the reason I can't see that yet, is because it is a European-based company and they're pretty new. I actually talked to the founder of it last week, and that's how I found out about it, because he reached out. And I really love using it. But full functionality here in the States is, I'm noticing that's not quite there yet. And I talked to him about that too. He said in the next few weeks, in the next couple of months, we should be rolling that out. And if he showed me his personal portfolio here, over in Germany where they're based out of, and he said Europeans, all of you guys over in Europe have full functionality already, and that's coming here to the States here pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. And so far, I've got to say, like, this has been a platform that I'm most, how do I say this? I'm really excited about this platform. It's one of the best ones that I've seen in a long time. And you guys know I love my Seeking Alpha. This won't replace that, because this is just a portfolio tracker. I use the dividend tracker. I'm kind of thinking this is better once full functionality comes aboard here in the States. I think this is just going to blow it out of the water. And you know what? This kind of reminds me, as I'm looking at it, and this is one of the reasons I like it, it's so easy to use. And it reminds me a lot of Robinhood. I don't know exactly why. It reminds me of Robinhood, but one thing I didn't show you, and I'll stop rambling on it soon, but I just wanted to show you guys this. If you go click on an individual stock, like I just pulled up Procter & Gamble, it won't show. Like I said, this is not a stock research platform, really. It's more for just portfolio tracking, but for that, it's great. So you can see the share price performance, some of the quick financial stuff, some price movement, stuff like that, analyst ratings, all that jazz. One thing you can see is the dividend stats, though. So it's got the dividend history chart going all the way back, and you can see how it's grown over the years. And in general, I'll just leave it there. But in general, I think this has been a really cool platform to use so far. I'm kind of bummed that I'm not getting the full functionality quite yet, but I know that's coming, and it's coming soon. So like once that happens, I'm like I'll probably, like I said, this will probably replace a lot of the other platforms that I use, at least for portfolio tracking. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys, because I am excited about it. And I also talked about it in this week's newsletter. So going back over to the screen, I plugged it for you guys in the newsletter here, but you can also, let me see. Yeah, right here. But I also have it linked in the description below if you want to check it out. It's free to sign up. It's free to join. There is a premium version, but most of the features that I showed here, you get in the free version. And one thing that I did not mention too, I promise I'll stop after this, is you get access to, not access, but one of the unique things about the platform, rather, I'll say, is the social aspect. Like, I think there's over 200,000 investors on the platform, which is crazy. For one that I've never heard of, there's a lot of people using this platform. And you scroll down this feed here, this is kind of like, kind of looks like what you might find on Twitter, right? Twitter or Facebook. But anyway, there's this whole social component built into it where people are talking about their stocks, sharing their portfolio. Like I could go here and share my full-on portfolio if I wanted to. And I'm starting to post over here as well. I've got every time I make a trade, every time I make a buy, I post it over here, and you can see, here's kind of my feed. Some of my old newsletters I posted here. Some other stuff that I don't post on YouTube goes here as well. So I think that's been really cool. And yeah, I'd love it if you guys checked it out and shot me a follow over here on GQ. I'm just going to call it that. Yeah, I'd love it if you guys do that. So if you end up signing up, like I said, it's free to join. There's a link in the description, and my username on here is just Ryan. So RYNE. You just search that. You'll find my profile. You can see all my posts, see my portfolio, stuff like that. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling there, but that's what I wanted to show you guys about. Another cool one, I have heard that Snowball Analytics is cool as well. I did I have briefly looked into that one, and it kind of reminds me of GetQuinn right here, but I know I'm pretty sure maybe Snowball Analytics is based out of France, actually. It's France or Canada. It's one of the two. So let's see. Let me scroll up here, see what I missed. There we go. Sheldon says, thanks. I love your videos so far. I do find them educational as someone just starting out and not knowing what to do. Keep at it. Well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. That feedback's super helpful. Stock Unlock is good at portfolio tracking and dividend tracking as well. Okay, cool. Nice. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Daryl said, I did confirm this morning that WP Carry is now added to the S&P. Thomas says, is that going to replace your spreadsheet for you? I'll probably use them both interchangeably. Like there's things that GetQuinn offers that my personal portfolio does not. Like one thing that, and I will say this, one thing I really like about the dividend tracker is the payout calendar. If you guys saw yesterday's video, you'll see that feature in action. GetQuinn has that as well, and I'll show you that. Like I said, though, it's not fully functional yet, but that is one thing that I'll definitely use this for over my portfolio spreadsheet. But I'll use them both interchangeably. Like there's going to be things about each one that I like. So if we go here, like for example, let's say 2024. It should, I mean, you can kind of see it happening here. It's forecasting all of my future dividend payments for the year. And it'll show, and this will become more accurate with better functionality. This just shows for December, but it'll show the payout for each stock for each month. So I get that same feature over here, just laid out in a different way. But yeah, I do think it will, for me, I do think it will replace the dividend tracker for sure. CAs, does it automatically add each dividend? If so, that'd be huge. Yeah, it does. I mean, if you go over here, this is one of those things, once again, if you live in Europe or if you're basically not in the US or Canada, it should be fully functional. But here in the US, it's not yet populating all of my dividend payments. Truth be told, I've only been using it for a couple weeks now, or almost a couple weeks. So probably just need to give it some more time to get warmed up, but you can see that it has populated my trades here. So everything I bought this week, J&J, VU, SDHD, WP Carry, I didn't have to input anything here for this. It just automatically pulled it from my brokerage, and it will do the same for dividend payments once that function becomes available. But I think there's issues like being European based, there's issues connecting and maintaining connectivity to the US brokerages right now. And the founder told me that it's usually something that takes a matter of weeks, sometimes a couple months to really get right. So it's just a process, but that's their next frontier. And there's some other really cool features that he was telling me about that I think are going to make this a really great platform to use. So, and it's free. Like there's so many great features for free. So, but yeah, once again, link in the description if you guys want to check this out. So Max says, as we'll go through one or two more comments and we'll wrap it up. Okay. So as we are at November 30th, what's your plan for the Walk to 100 series? It's a good question. So I talked about this yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right? Yesterday or 2 days ago now. Starting next week, starting Monday, we are not going to be doing Monday through Friday any longer. We are just going to be cutting Walk to 100 down to once per week. So starting next week, Walk to 100 is only going to be Monday mornings, 7 a.m. Pacific time, 10 a.m. Eastern time. I did not want to completely stop doing this because I enjoy doing it, but I also didn't want to do it every morning. So I felt that this was a pretty good compromise. So that's going to be the plan moving forward. Starting next week, we're cutting it down to just Mondays at 7 a.m. But anyway, guys, let's see. Let's check the count real quick, and we'll call it a day. We've been going for 30 good minutes here. So in total, I've been walking for about 77 minutes. So, almost an hour 20. I've gone 2.6 miles. So got some good mileage in. Okay. We're at 7,200 steps for the day. Wow. If 10K is the ultimate goal, that's like the rule of thumb. I'm already 72% of the way there. And then I burned 134 calories, which I do believe is a new record on the stream, guys. So we've been doing good. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up there. Let me see if there's anything else I have for you guys. If you missed yesterday's video, I shared all of my dividend income for the month of November there. Record month. So I'd love it if you guys check that out if you haven't done so already. Number 2, definitely read this week's newsletter. I know I showed it to you guys, showed a little bit of it to you guys this morning, but there's a link in the description for that as well, along with GetQuinn, the platform I was just showing you. Yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much it, guys. We're going to be back on tomorrow morning, Walk to 100, episode 17. Hopefully, the portfolio will reach another all-time high. It seems like every single day, almost every single day, guys, we're hitting these new all-time highs in the portfolio. Now at $57,000, over $57,000. It's crazy. It's like this Walk to 100 that we started this month, because it's not just calories, right? It's not just walking to 100 calories. It's also step by step growing this portfolio to $100,000. It's like, it's right now, just because of the way the market's moving, it's not really a walk. It's kind of a trot. It's almost a jog to 100. So, these last few $1,000s have come really quickly, which is exciting, but also makes me question whether or not it'll last. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. So tomorrow we'll be back once again for Walk to 100, but also tomorrow night we've got a really exciting dividend happy hour. I've got my good friends Russ and Harris tuning in, and hopefully Darth Dividend will be joining us as well. So it's going to be quite the party, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow night as well as tomorrow morning. But otherwise, guys, hope you have a fantastic day. I hope the rest of the market or the rest of the day is good to you on the market. Hope things are good in your portfolio and in your lives, and keep up the good work. I will see you guys tomorrow.